What's up, guys? So yeah, another video in the same background. Like I said, I'll be uploading like about 4 or 5 videos continuously, not every day, but probably like once a week or so. If you guys have not watched the previous video, I've made one about RT, what not to do, what to do, and stuff like that. RTRA licensing, and kind of like a small update on where I am at right now. Like you guys might have seen the thumbnail already. I'll be talking about my total kharcha of CPL. How much did it exactly cost me now that I have completed the CPL in US and I've come back and a couple of things have processed. So I will be including everything from A to Z so far dot to this day of how much I have spent on CPL. So I'll be also bifurcating it of how much was it in US, how much was it in India before going to US, after coming from US, etc., etc. So you guys will have a rough idea of what to expect. How much would you guys be able to bear it? That's something that you guys have to be very careful about. Do not jump into the training before sorting out your finances. Make sure your finances are super strong and you have additional cushioning, and only then do jump into the training, right? So that's something that a lot of people make. It's not a mistake, but it's something that you have to be cautious about. Anyway, getting into the figures of it now. Before going to US, let me sort that out. I'm quoting miscellaneous separately. Miscellaneous includes all the Saharas and all the helps and all the process and everything, and all the smaller khacha here and there. If you guys know, so all of that would be miscellaneous separately. I'll be putting it there. But let's talk about in a process where, let's say, the very beginning thing that I have done is class 2 and class 1 medical. So back then it was in 2018 or 19, if I'm not wrong. And then after that, COVID happened and I couldn't like do anything for about 2.5, 3 years, and the process later on. So back in 2018 or so, 19, class 2 medicals and class 1 medicals, both inclusive, it was somewhere around, let's say, roughly 40,000. Include like all the transportation and all the tests and payments there and all of it, everything included. Roughly about like 40,000, maybe 50,000 if you live in a different city and if you have to like go take hotels over there. So roughly 50,000 was that. And after that, it was nothing. It was just a wait period for about like 2.5, 3 months. And then my ground classes came in. So it was online ground classes and it costed me only around like a lakh and change, a lakh and 30, lakh and 40 something. Well, let's say a lakh and 50 for round figure if you guys staying there for about 3 months. And medicals were about like 50,000. So that's like 2 lakhs, right? And the spending is totally up to you guys. If you guys want to live in a luxury PG, it's going to cost a lot more. If I lived in a PG that was like very minimal when I had to go there, not the online classes, later on for RT exams and stuff, RT training and stuff, or like the cadet program training that I've taken. For all of that, I had to go there, stay in a PG. That was like a very minimal PG for about like 6 to 8 thousand a month or so. So it depends on you guys totally. So for me, let's say for my class 1, class 2 medicals and for DGC exam prep, it was about 2 lakhs. And then I had also taken RT, which was about like 30 to 40,000 or so. It might have increased now. I'm talking about like 2023, about like 2 years back already. So it may have increased. So please add about like 10 to 15% extra. And then I had taken like a cadet program training, hoping to get into cadet. But after that, I realized conventional was better. And anyway, the cadet was not available at the time being. And I made a different video on that, I believe, long back. So I'll probably tag it out here. So I had to go in a conventional way. So that did not go on waste, I would say, but I had like a good experience in it. But still, that was somewhere around a lakh and change. So totally about 4 lakhs, let's say. And then comes the visa process that costs a hell lot, because you have to travel, you have to stay there, you have to do your interview, the biometrics in one city, in a different city. That depends on your luck, right? And if you get it in one shot, that's going to be somewhere around, easily somewhere around like 50,000, including everything. But if it's like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times into that, right? So that's again based on how many attempts it takes and stuff like that. But for I-20 and the service fee and all of that included was somewhere roughly around, let's say, a lakh, close to a lakh for travel, depending on if you take a flight or a train or whatever it is. But then, yeah, overall, I would say roughly about a lakh. So that's like 4 lakhs and a lakh here, 5 lakhs. It could go up and beyond if you take a few more attempts, and it's going to cost a little more, right? So that's about like 5 lakhs before me entering to US. And of course, the examination fees and the travel for the examination, all of that, it's about like 50,000 more for depending on how many attempts. If you've cleared everything in one go, it's going to cost no more than about like 15,000, and the stay for about 5,000. So it's 2-day process, about 20,000 you should be good to go. But if you're going to different cities at different times, that's like 15,000, 15,000, 15,000, roughly 30, 40, 45, 50,000. Best case scenario, about like 50,000, right? And the flight khachas come in depending on when you book it and where you book it, or what airline you book in and things like that, right? I booked through Etihad and it costed me somewhere around 1,20,000 because it was almost last moment, right? You could get a cheaper price if you book like 3 months ahead, 4 months ahead, which I don't think is very possible, but you guys could still try. But somewhere around like 6.5 lakhs plus this 1.5 lakh for all, US travels and all of it, everything included. So roughly, let's say 8 lakhs. Yeah, roughly 8 lakhs just to reach there in Florida at my school that day, right? And mind you, I have not cleared RT before going to US. So that's one thing that you should remember. After coming back, I had to go through it. And once I started my training, in my school records, it says I had spent around 77,000 and odd change, right? A lot of people are thinking that, I'm making these promo videos, so I might be getting some of the lenience or like some kind of nothing. I haven't, I'm not sad or I'm not worried or upset about it. But I'm just letting you know that no payments or no sponsorship have been happening so far for it. So I spent a solid $77,000, and that would be the approximate cost for everybody that goes. It's not because I've gotten a discount or anything as such, right? So somewhere around $70,000 to $75,000 or $77,000 is what. Sometimes if you fly a little further, you could go up to like $80,000 or $85,000 too. My price $77,000 for about I think it was 274 hours or 275 hours or so without the simulator. Simulator was like 24 or 25 hours or something like that. So a total of 300 hours including the simulator time. So that costed me somewhere around $77,000, which translates to roughly 65 lakhs between that. So let's say 62 lakhs or something, let's say, for example. So 8 lakhs was this. So this was 62 lakhs. So around 70 lakhs is what I've spent from zero to the end of my CPL, right? That was only the cost of 6 months of accommodation plus the training cost was about 70 lakhs. But I was there for 10 more months outside the school accommodation though, but it was 10 more months. It costed me roughly around 80,000 to 1 lakh every month. So let's say 1 lakh for easy calculation and 10 lakhs there. So 70 plus 10, that's 80 lakhs already. Now, I come back to India. I had to go through my RT. मुझे भी थोड़ा सा सहारा लेना पड़ा, तो उसका भी कुछ खर्चा हुआ होगा. आप लोग को पता होगा जो भी है. That and travel to Delhi and stay there and everything, and then I had to again do my medicals because they expired when I was in US. So that is about like 20,000 in Chennai, Apollo, plus the travel, transport, everything. मैंने वो class 1 medicals के बारे में भी एक video बनाया है that I'll be tagging out here. So let's say miscellaneous prices and everything else, and the travel, transport, the exam fees and all of it. Also the RTIC application जो 10,000 है उसका, not the application, sorry, after you get the result application for the license. Everything included, let's say it was about like 3 lakhs. So that's 80 lakhs and 3 lakhs, 83 lakhs. You could see how quickly it's going up. Of course, the FAA medicals I have to get done again. I have to, still I haven't. So that would cost a little. I have to go to either Delhi or Chennai or something like that. Yeah, and then the conversion flying, right? That would be there. That's, let's say, about like 4 lakhs. Everything included, let's say 4.5, 5 lakhs, right? So that's 88 lakhs. Now, 88 lakhs, I have my Indian CPL, I have my FAA CPL, I have the exams, RT, everything else done. The only thing now pending is my multi-engine training. Yes, I haven't done the multi-engine training in US, and the $77,000 that I spent in US is without multi-engine. So let that sink in, because it is not a cheap affair. It's going to be expensive. I'll tell you why it went beyond. Now, multi-training, let's say that goes somewhere around 8 to 10 lakhs. So that's like about 98 lakhs. 2 lakhs, let's say miscellaneous here and there. So that's about like a crore dot, right? You hit the mark, 1 crore, you realize you're overspending already, right? But this is the cost that would happen. Maybe plus or minus 10 lakhs, but not any more than that. It's not going to stretch no matter how much you want to squeeze in. If you want to train from US anywhere, and if you want to convert the license and all of that, it is going to cost somewhere around 90 lakhs to 1 crore, or maybe 1 crore 10 lakhs, depending on how you're spending your money. After all of this, I would have my interview sessions going on. I haven't done my type rating yet. That's about like 15 to 20 lakhs additional. So 1 crore plus whatever the training costs. If I'm going through the airline for type rating, it would cost me around 25 lakhs to 30 lakhs, including the line training and then type rating and all of that. So yeah, roughly 1 crore 30 lakhs. So plus or minus 10 15 lakhs is what you could assume. It's not cheaper. It's a very expensive affair. Uh, it's something that you guys must be prepared for, right? So I have taken a loan of about 50 lakhs, education loan, and the rest my dad's savings and some of the lands and sales and a lot of other things. Uh, yeah, I do I regret it? No, maybe not, but do I feel pressure? Do I take pressure? Do I take stress? Yes, I think for sure, because it's not cheap. So why have I spent over the quotation that I received for about like 50 lakhs or 55 lakhs? I've spent about like 10 lakhs more. The reason is weather delays, right? My performance slightly somewhere here and there. Minor issues, when I was flying there, like instructor delays and stuff, instructor not availability, and smaller ones, not like big complaints or anything, but few things here and there. The major cost was I requested for a 152 quotation for private pilot license, instrument license, and commercial pilot license. So it was cheaper, of course. But for instrument training, I wanted to switch to a G1000. School did not have 152s that were at that point instrumented. Now I think they're getting it fixed and they have it. So they did give us like about 25 hours of 152 price, which was nice, good from their end. But whatever the extra training that I had to go through, my performance, was not up to the mark that I had to finish in uh, about like 40 hours or so instead of like 25 hours. So you guys can imagine how it could be expensive. So the additional 15 hours that were there, that I had to pay the full price of the G1000. I felt it was better for me to take the same for commercial training too, whereas it was quoted on 152s, right? So that was an additional cost. 152 versus 172 G1000 for every hour is roughly about, I would say, 120 to $150. Uh, so I had done 40 hours of instrument, about like 45, 50 hours of commercial. So roughly about 100 hours extra. So 100 into 100, it's about $10,000. Yeah, roughly around 10 to $15,000 extra. So that's the 10 lakh price that hit additionally, right? But because the conversion is not easy with the 152 in India, is what we have heard over there. So taking a 172 G1000 was like a decently good option for me. At least back then it was. And it was quoted for about like 250 hours. That's the requirement for this FAA license. You have to have 251 hours or 250 hours. But I had taken like 275 hours of flight training would not be cheap. If you are planning to become a pilot in 2025, please have about a crore and 50 lakhs ready for sure. It is not going to be any cheaper. If you're flying in India, maybe you might be able to save about like 20 lakhs or 25 lakhs even sometimes, depending on where you fly from. But it is going to take about 2.5, 3 years. For me, it took about like 16 months. Our batch was an exception because the weather was very unpredictable. Otherwise, even 12 to 14 months is an average time that I would say in US. It's much better than 2.5, 3 years of India. You might be able to save a little in India, about like 20, 25 lakhs, but that still keeps you at like about a crore and 30 lakhs. So it is not going to be any cheaper than a crore, no matter what, no matter how much you bang your head. I'm sorry to break the bubble like this, but it is definitely at least beyond a crore. Nowhere near 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs that people are quoting outside. This is the reality. So I hope you guys understand. So let's say I may have overspent, right? Let's assume I may have overspent for about 1 crore 30 lakhs, and I may have spent 30 lakhs extra, which is impossible to do so, but still it sits at a crore, right? So please do understand it, have your finances sorted, strong back cushioning if something happens, right? So do not just solely base on taking loans and stuff. Have some sort of a support for you guys. Yeah, I know people who have worked super hard, taking loans and working, paying repayments and stuff like that, and they are an exception. It's not easy to be like them. You would need a lot of dedication to do so, and not everybody is capable of doing that. So for an average person, I would say sort out finances very strongly. So yeah, that's about it so far. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys like it, do not forget to subscribe. I'll be posting more such videos, but until then, I'll see you guys.